Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ruffle and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be taking a look at some Pokemon riddles, rumors, everything to do with like that, as well as news and stuff. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get things started. So first things first, Riddler-Koo. If you do not know who Riddler-Koo is, it's an individual that left riddles and leaks last year for like legitimate information for Pokemon Legends, Arceus, and BDSP before the release of those games. So he's a legitimate leaker, and he actually came through, and he actually has some genuine new information for us, which I think is interesting to take a look at. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. The first thing, though, has got to be this right here, which is a new kind of like collage, you could say, image that he has put together. So, say welcome to our Grape Legend trainers. I said it was a continuation for last month. By the way, I will go for Violet, nickname it. Can't wait. So, what are we talking about here? Well, basically, these images and this whole collage right here, including the little doggo in there, is basically a hint towards what the Legendary is going to be for these games, okay? So, like, specifically the Violet version. And people were asking him, okay, you know, like, oh, this is awesome, but, like, you know, this doesn't really give us a lot, you know, of information. And he includes, like, some weird stuff about Centro, which is another Twitter account, but that's besides the point. But basically, people are asking, you know, what does this mean? Somebody says, thanks, Q. What do you thought? Or this is Lumio posting. What are your thoughts on Legends? Like, on a scale of 10, how would you rank them design-wise? Apparently, like the Legendary, 10 out of 10. I really love the Grape version, which is the Violet version. The Orange functions the same as Grape, so the Scarlet one is the same as Grape. It's way more cool, though, because of the specific motif, the Violet one. But people may be divided this time for the two box Legends. Well, hey, that's a good thing, right? Because then that means we'll choose the better one. Either way, so it is interesting, and I had this post open here as well, if anybody was curious about it. Shout out to Hisuian Style. Decidui for sending this my way. But yes, that is the kind of general collage that we looked at in a previous video. Now it's kind of broken it down. But it has more information. Still got 3 bonus informations about 2 boxes. Yeah, they're working VIP mons with secrets. First is the context and explanation for my Masters teaser in April. Second will be preserved until the coming of the next trailer. Last but not least, he put this out, which is the big one. Thought only me doing the riddles. No, actually, the first trailer teased the themes of the 2 box Legendaries. Hope you could find the contrast concepts of the 2. See you in June. And interestingly, it's a picture of a kind of an old sort of clock. And we do have a massive breakdown, like a massive breakdown here from Soul Silver Art, which is a leak analyst of ours, a big mad lad, and also one of the members of our upcoming podcast. But he basically had to put together like an interesting kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, but like a massive thread about all this stuff with kind of theories and stuff like that. So I thought we'd take a look at this and see what it's all about. Starting off, so safe for work. No color theory, no trailer countdown. Basically just proof that the coincidence is real. Ku says this about the Violet mascot, which is the Legendary, but he completes the riddle in his follow-up comment. So we can deduce that both mascots will be rideable, which makes perfect sense in the first open-world game, which is pretty cool. Then we continue. Orange functions the same as Grape. Though at the same time, his primary focus is on the Violet mascot, and they will have different motifs in design and probably in how they ride them. Violet's has some sort of wheel and chariot motif. We still don't know the other details about the Scarlet Legendary. He rates them both 10 out of 10, but he prefers the Violet one. I realize this is all opinion, but after covering him in the past year, I found I usually personally agree with him, except for Hisuian Decidui. So, I'm excited. He says both are so good that fans will be very split on which to choose. But the best news, however, is that all his Legendary mascot talk has really got me leaning towards the Legendary soon being revealed in the next Scarlet Violet trailer, which probably is going to be in June now. Since it didn't happen now in May, it most likely would be June next. So June, early June, first 2 weeks of June, which we should kind of assume it would happen. Either way, he says, I just don't think he'd go into so much detail if their official reveal wasn't soon. Plus, he said this about their reveal. And he says, we'll put all the jigsaw pieces together and reveal the answer when the announcement is around the corner. Which is interesting because he hasn't given us the full, you know, conclusion to everything and the full, like, you know, explanation, I guess, because the trailer is still a bit away, you know, in June. Either way, the announcement is probably around the corner, but don't forget this is actually the regional forms month currently, which is, you know, in May, because he has this like list here. So the Grape one, that's definitely got to be like, you know, the Legendary. But remember, we still have like this month of May. That's when he's, you know, talking about or riddling the new regional form, which we assume is going to be a Tauros plus something else. Either way, so we'll continue on. He says, to all the haters who think it was ridiculous to even fathom that Sun and Moon's colors were Easter eggs and related and cut content for Scarlet Violet, what is Ku and in turn Game Freak using as a major theme in Scarlet Violet? Orange and grapes and purple. I'm now convinced that the data mine's sword and shield images were meant to be Easter eggs too, which is the ones we see right here, the grape and the oranges up there, which wouldn't be that surprising actually. So, continue on. Boom. Just like that, Ku drops more about what I was talking about. Sadly, I think this confirmation, there won't be official Scarlet Violet info until June. He's still going to break down his Master's riddle, and he has another riddle on top of the 2 new ones he gave us this past week and today. So he's got, the bonus information. Master's riddle breakdown and final mascot riddle will be very close to the new trailer, but he ends this all saying see you in June, which is interesting, right? Because that pretty much confirms that that's when he thinks information's coming. So his riddles won't start until June. That means we need to need a week for his riddles and then the trailer. So I'm really thinking second week of June. I also think he's saying the Scarlet Violet mascots will have a huge role to play in Scarlet Violet's plot and lore. The VIP with many secrets, plus we can ride them around the region, almost sounds to me like the mascot legendaries will be with us earlier than normal, which is interesting. So if somebody asks like VIP mons, I think they're trying to say that the 2 box legends are going to be very important for the plot or for whatever else he's thinking of. VIP here, very important Pokemons. Nice, which is very interesting. So yeah, either way. What if they are one of the protagonist's main partner Pokemon, and throughout the game we will learn more secrets about it? Maybe they have pre-evolutions like Cosmog, but they are actually usable Pokemon. This is all just my own personal speculation. Then there is the new riddle, which in my opinion is kind of the orange counterpart riddle to the grape collage. Notice it wasn't on the desktop image, but I also say this because he says, I hope you find the contrast concept of the 2. So this picture shows a Scarlet versus Violet mascot concept, which of course is the clock. Many people are caught up on time travel and or themes of new versus old, which is valid, but at first glance, I noticed the flowers that kind of look like wheels. Maybe these are the Scarlet mascot's wheels. Maybe it has a flower motif because oranges have blossoms. If you look closely, the yellow-orange flowers actually look most like flowers, and the blue-green ones look more like wheels. I have a theory that the orange mascot will be the Dragon Electric due to this, and the violet will actually be the fighting type, but this is a topic for another thread. Now, in the middle, you will notice the 2 flowers seem to be placed on top of each other. Then there's the clock itself, which makes me think of an old Portuguese or Spanish tradition of making this style of clocks, hinting at Scarlet's traditional motif versus Violet's modern wheels, time travel. So somebody here said, nature versus machine and technology. The concept of flowers, nature, contrasts with the clock, machine. So I guess we can hope wild versus modern games or primitive versus futuristic, which is interesting because then also the whole game of Scarlet would be a nice counterpart to the previous game that came out, which is Legends Arceus. So it's almost like a follow-through, throughout the games almost as well, which I think would be sick. And these are ceramic clocks from Spain. That's one of the ones we saw there as well. So could be, so what he's trying to say here is that time travel could be at play here as well, when given the connection to PLA. What happens to this clock in the trailer where the hands are placed in the photo, and of course maybe the dog on wheels has to do with time travel. The not safe for work comment could also point to portals of some kind. Now, interestingly enough, an individual here actually put together a video. This is from NSC Connor, who actually put together a video saying that he thinks that Gen 9 is 100% about time travel, which is interesting. And I think you guys should go watch that video, give it a look, because I think it's an interesting concept, right? So give that video a look. Just give it a shot, see what it's all about. And it continues on. So that video above is so right, and I highly recommend watching it. It will be going. I will be going all into all of this a lot more in the future threads. We have been speculating from day one that these games are about tradition versus future, and that's exactly what we have been talking about. I forgot to add in, I don't know if the riding legendary mechanic in Scarlet Violet also confirms that riding normal Pokemon to get around the region will also return. Seems much more likely now, though. We can't say for sure. Also attaching this so people don't think there's another wolf mascot. So, all right, there we go, ladies and gents. What do we think about all this? Because there's a lot to break down through here. But basically, we're not going to get news until June. The Scarlet Legendary, or Violet Legendary in this case, might have some chariot design theme in it. Not going to be a wolf of any sorts, but some kind of wheels will be connected to it. Or chariot type design possibly, right? We will be able to mount these legendaries and ride them around the region in some form or shape. That's what we have so far. And there might be some implications with time travel in this game, which wouldn't be that surprising with the whole tradition versus innovation, concept that they're seemingly going with. But that was pretty much that for that info, guys. Let's move on to the final thing. This is actually from Centro, which pretty much is just, I don't know, that he confirmed that the exclusive info they received about the update for Home was confirmed, but also that within the data of, like, of this, you know, new Home update, they actually kind of interestingly, it looks like Game Freak and Ilka have a totally different generation concept to a fan sab. Pokemon BDSP is marked internally as Gen 9 in the Home update. Meanwhile, Legends Arceus is Generation 10, which is really weird. So, yeah, I don't know why they did it like that. That's just a bit goofy, odd, strange. I don't know why they did that, but it is what it is, right? It is what it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about all this? Let me know in the comment section down below. It's going to be the end of today's video, guys. If you did enjoy it, then make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.